guys, I'm Ren if you're new here, and if not, welcome back. I got the new persona up and running. I'm just gonna call her Zombie Ren, because she's literally just me as a zombie. For my first video as a proper PNG tuber, I thought I'd talk about OCs. Specifically, some things that annoy me about being an OC artist in the art community. This is probably more of a listen to while you draw or fold laundry kind of video, but I hope you like it regardless. So, one of my biggest turnoffs from being an OC artist is when people compare my OCs to other already established OCs. Especially from fandoms that I'm not part of, it can be really, really frustrating. I know that people who are comparing them most often aren't doing it to be rude, but that doesn't make it any less annoying. It makes artists kind of feel bad because the point of an OC is to make a character that's, well, original. I even went as far as to change an OC's entire hairstyle because he kept getting compared to as Deku. He was Little Bunny Man. I'm gonna put him up on the screen here. He had green hair because the joke was that he thought it was red because he is colorblind. So he dyed his hair green thinking it was red. And all the comments I ever got on him was Bunny Deku, Bunny Deku, and it made me so mad that I completely redesigned him. I gave him a rainbow wolf cut. Cause who's gonna like now he just looks like a snow cone, There's nothing to compare character wise now. Um I do prefer his new design actually. It's a lot more fun to draw, but his old design was really simple and made it easy to draw multiple times in a row. And I mean, I used to watch My Hero Academia, but because of the fandom, not all of it, like you know which ones I'm talking about. Because of that part of the fandom, it made me cringe anytime my character was compared to him, and at some point it made me not like him as much, even though he's one of my all-time favorite OCs that I've ever made. So I am glad that I changed his design up a little bit. I've seen a lot of other posts about artists complaining about the same thing, so I know that I'm not alone in that. Just before you compare somebody's character to another one, just think about if they're not in that fandom and don't know who the character is. It can kind of make artists feel bad, even though it's not intentional most of the time. Another thing that I don't like about the art community when it comes to your OCs is how judgmental people can be about them. I had somebody tell me that armpit and leg hair that I drew on my OC was unsanitary and disgusting and that he should have shaved. Like, hello? Most men have a lot of armpit hair. I even have girlfriends with body hair. So, it's just, I wanted him to be more realistic as a male character. Especially because this specific character was trans, female to male. He's not going to want to shave because shaving is going to make him feel more feminine because that is an inherently feminine thing. So, obviously, he's going to have some armpit hair and some leg hair. And even so, it's not insanitary to have body hair if you wash and wear deodorant. Plus, it's a drawing. If it makes you so uncomfortable, then just scroll. I've seen a lot of artists getting bullied for just little things like that, and it's really, really frustrating. I've even seen artists getting bullied for drawing bigger OCs, or making them too skinny, or if they're too curvy, then they're blasted for being a gooner. Maybe just mind your business and scroll. It's not that hard to leave people alone. And this goes for hating on people's art styles too. It's completely okay if it's not to your liking. What's not okay is to just go out of your way and tell the artist that. Just move on. I'm sure that we all have our fair share of art styles that we don't like. Personally, I don't like the jelly art style. Not because it's problematic or anything like that. I just personally don't think that it's very satisfying or appealing to me, but I'm not going to go on and tell people that use that to their face that they don't like it. It's still a perfectly good art style and it's not bad art. So just don't go commenting on people's videos of them posting their OC and their drawing and their art in that art style. Just scroll. If it's none of your concern and nobody's getting hurt, you should probably just mind your business. Mind your business. I also hate how hard it is to gain a following as an OC artist. I know that it's not really something that can be controlled. People are just more likely to interact with fan art of already established characters that they can recognize. That's why artists who primarily make fan art have an easier time building an audience. Though they also have more chances of harassment that way too, because if it's an already established character, then more people are going to be like, oh, you made them too pale, you made them too dark, you made them too tall, you made them too skinny, you made them too big. If it's an already established character, nobody's gonna like. A lot of people are not going to like the way that you specifically draw that character, which is one of the things I love about drawing an OC. I can draw them however I want, and if people get mad at me, I can just say, it's my character, man. Back off. Though nobody should be hating on you for how you draw your fan art anyway, either. Because there's lots of different designs that you can give an established character and still make it recognizable as that character, especially if it's just a stylistic choice. I've seen artists who will draw fan art of a character and change it so much over time that it just becomes their own OC out of that. And I think that's pretty cool too. I like seeing how people's fan art evolves and just becomes something else because of the amount of time and effort that they put into it. I think that's cool. Also, the best way to gain a following for your artists, for your OCs as an artist, is to make people care about them by being very consistent on which OCs you post. If you're constantly drawing OCs and you're posting all of them, at some point you're going to have too many OCs. You need to make sure that you're posting the ones that you want to gain popularity or the ones that your audience likes the most. Post them the most times. So that way the audience who came for that OC stays for that OC instead of leaving when you start drawing new ones. It's okay to sprinkle in your other OCs, but just make sure that the one that you post to the most often is the OC that gained your audience the first place. Even though it sucks that you have to do that. It's just the way it kind of goes, I guess. Also, a good way to gain your following with your OCs, besides being just very consistent with them, is develop the lore and reveal that lore little by little so that way your audience is hooked. So, they find out this week that this happened in your character's life, and that's revealed to impact the way that they act this way, or they acted this way and they don't know why, and then a while later you reveal something in their past that explains why they acted that way in the first place. It's also a good idea to give them actual good personalities rather than just personalities built off of trauma. They can have their trauma personality, but it's important to give them a personality on top of that. So this character might have severe PTSD because of all the trauma they faced in the back, but don't make that their only personality. Make them love movies. Their favorite movies are horror movies. Make them hate popcorn for some reason. Make them utterly disgusted by the smell of vanilla. Silly things like that aren't necessarily part of the lore, but can just build a character. It's also fun to give them likes and dislikes, funny, quirky little habits. Maybe this character bites their nails. This one likes to chew on the end of their hair. This one constantly pops his knuckles. It just things that'll make the characters themselves more relatable to people in your audience. And that's a really good way to gain people caring about them and stuff. Another thing that I really dislike about being an OC artist is that a lot of the times for them to gain popularity, you gotta make them very conventionally attractive to get good recognition. Excuse me. It seems that the most pristine anime-esque styles are the ones that get the most popular, so having a personal style or preference towards certain types of characters makes it harder to gain an audience too. Personally, I like to give my OCs very strong noses, tooth gaps, chipped teeth, eye bags. If you read my webtoon, you know, eye bags on Bexley all the way, because that man does not sleep. Also, he's dead. And then Yona, I love her big tooth gap and her big, big nose. It's just so cute to me. Um, but it is unconventional features for the OCs that a lot of people just don't care for, especially if your OC is very stylized. Which sucks, it's unfortunate. But don't let that stop you, just keep drawing the way that you want to draw. Your audience will find you, and if you let the right audience find you, they are going to be the best audience ever. People can be so supportive, especially when they're genuinely interested in your art and the way that you draw and your OCs. I also hate it when people get pissy about your OCs that are like sexualized or are bad people. If your OC is an adult and you were also an adult, go ahead and slut them up, baby girl. Can't believe I said that. It's your OC. Just don't be a weirdo about it. Like, and by being a weirdo about it, don't be super duper weird. Don't fetishize them. You can sexualize them without fetishizing them. Don't be a gooner. But like for example, I have an OC. His name's Wyatt. He is an incubus. Anytime I draw him in a skimpy outfit or being just like a downright diva that he is, I get people in my comments saying, "Ew, what is wrong with you? You're disgusting, this and that," because he's a little sexualized, or he's wearing a shirt that has a sexualized saying on it, or he's got short shorts on. He's an adult. I'm an adult. He's literally an incubus. An incubus is a demon that feeds off of sexual energy. He's gonna be sexualized. He needs it to live. It's like, it's not like that's his entire personality either. He collects plushies. But people don't ask me about their personality when I post characters like him. They just freak out because he's sexualized. But he's not even in all of the drawings that I've drawn him, and I've drawn him in several different ways. Some of them are perfectly innocent. Most of them are. Just like when you make your characters that are bad people or in a toxic relationship for your OC lore or story, people are really fast to call a creator problematic, as if problematic characters aren't necessarily there. As if problematic characters aren't necessary for there to be plot and conflict between your characters. People get angry when your character is a drug addict or an alcoholic or abusive, as if these aren't characters that are reflected by real people in real life. It is 100% okay to have these as your characters, just don't go glorifying it. You can have them as part of the lore act like that, and you can add in the lore explaining why they're like that. It's also important to have villains. My favorite thing to do with villains is to give them a very nice redemption arc. Of course, there are some villains that cannot be redeemed. Now, when I'm talking about problematic relationships with your OCs, I am not talking about pro shippers. That is not the one that I am talking about. So, if your OC is a little Lolita dating some scruffy old man, stop it. Get some help. Get out of here. I don't care if she's 500 years old. If she looks like an 8-year-old, you need some help. My point is, having bad characters doesn't make you, yourself, bad. And people need to realize that. Every good story has a bad guy. Ugh. This is pretty much all I have to yap about at the moment. So please give me some more topics if you want that you might want me to talk about in the future in the comments below. I'm also going to use this moment to shamelessly plug my webtoon. Not shamelessly, I am shamefully plugging my webtoon. I'm gonna put it here so shamefully. It is available on Webtoon Canvas at the moment. Chapters 1 through 8 are available to read, and I will be starting chapter 9 very, very soon. It's called My Roommate is a Ghost, and it follows the two main characters, Yona and Bexley. Yona is a 20-year-old witch who just moved into her first apartment. Little does she know that it comes with a roommate. A dead one at that. Yona must help Bexley find out what happened to him and choose between a living man or a dead man. Thank you so much for listening to me yap for so long. I don't know how long this is actually going to be after I edit it, because there's just some spots where I forgot what I was saying and let it trail off. There's also a spot where I had to put my roommate's cat in her room because he wouldn't stop scratching at my door. And if he's in my room, then I would have just heard him grooming himself and getting into all of my stuff the entire time I was trying to record, and it would have been very, very distracting and loud on the microphone. My cat's laying here being good boy because he just kind of sleeps. He's a good boy. Alright, thank you so much, my lovelies. Have a nice night.